Welcome to your 6-month tarot reading. We are going to dive into the energies of the next 6 months, particularly because it is a very significant time frame for each of us. Okay. So before we dive into it, I do want to, first of all, thank each one of you who have subscribed. I've reached over 100 subscribers. My channel's new, so every one of you that are appreciating this content, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So those of you who have not yet subscribed, please do and hit the notification bell. Also, remember to like the video and make comments. Leave comments. I'd love to hear from you and get to know those of you who are interested in what I'm bringing forward. So thank you again. Next, I would like to just let each one of you know that this intro will be in every one of your readings, okay? Because I do not want to potentially miss something, as this information is so important. By repeating it 12 times, that can get kind of redundant, first of all. And secondly, as it goes on, I may end up forgetting a piece or two. So we don't want that to happen. So typically I give each one of you your own special time in the beginning. But at this point, let's go ahead and just be all on one page, because even though it's going to impact us differently, and that's why you'll each have a reading, right? But the energies are affecting all of us. Okay. So the reason this is so significant is because Chiron has just gone into retrograde. Now, every one of us has a Chiron placement in our chart, in our natal chart. Oh, I should also say, I am not an astrologer. Okay. I am not. I am a tarot reader, but I am very sensitive to current energies. Okay. And when I feel the planet shifting, when I feel something significant, like I did this last December when Chiron went direct, I felt very impacted on looking at the Chiron wound. And many of you may be feeling very impacted by this Chiron retrograde. Okay. And you may have been really dealing with your Chiron wound as of last December. It may have flared up for you also. So what is the Chiron wound? What am I talking about? So if you're not familiar, the Chiron wound is a wound that you would have had since birth, okay? And it will have impacted you throughout your entire life. Now, let's dive into Chiron's story, because we'll need to make some parallels here so that it really gives you the depth of what's going on. So, Chiron was conceived in a rape condition. Okay, so his mother was, okay? So what happened is, let's do this. Let's really chat. All right. So what happened was Saturn came to Earth to see his son Zeus, or Jupiter, and he fell in love, or was taken back, very much interested in a water nymph. And he pursued her, and she just continued to not be interested in him and escaping him. So she comes to Zeus, or Jupiter, and asks him to turn her into a horse, a mare, so that she can get away from Saturn. And so he does. Well, Saturn finds out, and he turns himself into a stallion, and he meets up with her, and they produce a child. So when it's time for her to give birth, she goes up into the mountains and she births this child. And because they were, had been horses at the time, she gave birth to a half human, half boy, and half horse, half stallion. Okay. So she was mortified at this. She was embarrassed. She did not want to raise this child. So she abandoned him in a field. And she went back to Zeus and asked him to turn her into a tree. And he did. So that's mom. Mom's out of the picture. But you can see where he was conceived in a trauma, and then at birth, he had a trauma. This is where it begins to parallel our lives, okay? Because you will have this in your chart, this wound that's been placed there. And you chose this at a soul level of what you wanted to really be an impact. Now, where this is really great is Chiron is also known as the wounded healer. So a shepherd found him in the field and takes him to the temple of Apollo. And Apollo and his sister Athena, Artemis. I am so sorry, you guys. I want to say Athena, but it could have been Artemis. Okay. So whoever is Apollo's sister. Okay. So they raised him and gave him an elite education. He learned prophetic abilities. He learned the healing arts and medicine. He learned art itself and the beauty of art. And he learned the ways of a noble warrior, where fighting is the last option when it comes to war. Okay. And he taught a lot of gods and heroes, which are demigods. He taught a lot of them throughout history and or Greek mythology. Okay. So he taught a lot of them. Later, he ended up sustaining his own physical wound. Okay, he was in battle with Hercules. They were on the same team. Hercules had an arrow that was had been dipped in poison made by a god, and had shot his target, and it went through the target and hit Chiron in either the thigh or the knee, depending on which story you're looking at. So he was wounded, and because he is a demigod, he could not die. And because it was a poison that was created by a god, he could not heal it. So he asked for his immortality to be taken from him so that he could die from this wound. And so he did. Now there's another part of the story where it branches off, and he sends Hercules to free Prometheus, which, I mean, it kind of pertains because Prometheus is Aquarius energy, but we're not going to go into that. We could, but not today. Not today. Okay, so we all know that Pluto is in Aquarius right now, and Pluto is helping us to mine. Oh, it does. Sorry, that's why it's coming up. Okay, see, this is why I didn't want to repeat it 12 times. Okay, so Prometheus is the energy of of Aquarius. Okay, Prometheus had stole the fire back for man, because he, according to Greek mythology, he created man, so he was aligned not with the god Zeus, who took the fire as punishment from man. He went actually to Apollo and got the fire back from the sun and gave it back to man. Okay, so and then Zeus had him apprehended and chained him to a pillar, and had an eagle come and eat out his liver every day, repeatedly, for forever, for eternity, or until a hero demigod came and rescued him or saved him. And so when Chiron, and I'm not sure exactly how how it takes his immortality away, but it does. When he sends Hercules to free Prometheus, because we know Hercules is a demigod, he's a hero. When he frees him, Chiron is able to then be mortal now. Okay. And so he goes and he lives with the other centaurs, which were brutes. They come from a very different lineage, a dark lineage, and they were just kind of beasts. They were unruly. They obeyed no law, right? And they had their way. They would terrorize villages and had their way with women, drank too much, just kind of did their own thing at their own will. Well, Chiron went and lived with them for 700 years, and he was able to teach them all of the things that he had learned with his education with gods, and help to civilize these centaurs. And now we all, in just broad strokes of mythology, if you're not going too deep into it, you can see where centaurs are actually noble creatures in many depictions. Okay, so this is how they got there, was Chiron. Okay, so how does this affect you? Well, your Chiron wound connects directly with your purpose. And we know Chiron's in Aries. We know that our North Node currently is in Aries. Okay. And as of last year's, is it last year's or this or both? I'm not sure. Anyway, as of the eclipse of it was the eclipse that had to do with Aries and Libra. Okay, which is where the North and South nodes are. It opens up this portal for us to be able to heal it. Okay, especially when Chiron, that was this last spring. Okay, Chiron went direct last December. Now he's retrograde again. Okay, and in his retrograde, he's retrograding with Pluto. That's why it was important for me to mention Aquarius energy, because Pluto is in Aquarius now. Just like Prometheus or Aquarius, has stolen the fire because he was back for man, because he was aligned to his creation. He was aligned to his own purpose, and not just obeying some godhead. That's what Aquarius is asking each one of us to do, is to be able to step into our authentic self and align ourselves with our own purpose, our own creations, the creation of your own life. Now, what does Pluto have to do with it? So Pluto is Hades. Okay. Pluto is, and the reason why they have two names is, if you don't know, is that Greek mythology, they have one name, and Roman mythology was derived from Greek mythology, is what all the planets are named after, is the Roman god names. Okay. So they're the same people. So, all right. So now, but their stories are just, they're extended stories with the Roman mythology. Okay. So let's go back to Aquarius here. And this Aquarius energy now we know that Pluto went into Aquarius, right? As of earlier this year, finally went, to stay there for a period of time. I think it's doing, when a retrograde, it does touch back into Capricorn for just a moment. But when it does go retrograde, as Pluto retrogrades, it is going to create a conjunction with Chiron. And Pluto, like I said, is Hades, which is your own personal underworld. Now, that can sound a little bit scary, going into your own personal hell, right? And we can all agree that the wound that we've carried with our own life has been our own personal hell. Well, the beauty of Pluto is that Pluto mines the wealth that is under the surface. Okay. So if Pluto is helping, so they're going to go conjunct in like the same degree, like 21 degrees, 20 degrees, and 19 degrees, when they are doing this dance together, Pluto and Chiron. So as Chiron's in retrograde and as Pluto's in retrograde, and they're going to be, like I said, doing this, Pluto's going to help you get underneath everything and help you to recognize where all of the skills, all of the talents, all of the things that you personally have been able to cultivate from a wounded state, just like Chiron did when he received his education. So, and retrograde Chiron's going to help you take a look, revisit that wound, but it's going to be in a very beautiful, harmonious way to help you release it once and for all, to align you with your purpose. Okay. This is your Chiron, the wounded healer. As you heal that wound, it becomes your biggest medicine. Your biggest wound throughout your life becomes your biggest medicine, and becomes prevalent within achieving your own personal purpose, your own personal destiny, which is promise that you made to yourself when you chose to come into this lifetime. So you can see how all these things are working together, and the stories really parallel what's going on with their life. Now, as I've done a little bit of research, I have discovered that the Chiron wound can often be connected to the mother wound. So looking at where your moon is in your chart, the mother wound, by looking at the moon in your chart. Now, why the moon? Because the moon does represent mother figure, the maternal aspects within each of us, the mother figures that we have had in our life, you as a mother figure to other people, whatever that looks like for you. But this Chiron wound, may have something to do with wounds that your own mother had. You may have gotten this in utero, which can be often called like karmic or ancestral wounds, right? But you'll notice as you take a look at the things that have been really activated over this last 7 months, especially, um, may have something to do with what your mother dealt with and you have been perpetuating in your own life. Okay. Now, what's really interesting, when I said it's a beautiful, harmonious, take a look at it, not to scare you, not to fear this healing, but in a way that's actually going to move, because Venus is helping us out, and Venus knows what your desire is. And your desire is to feel fulfilled and purposeful in your life in your own unique way. Again, touching back to that Aquarius energy, right? You being unique, being yourself. It's sort of like rebellion energy of like, I don't need a godhead or some system telling me what I need to do. I need to be listening to my own inner guidance. Now, Venus is at the tail end of Leo. We're about to have a new moon in Leo on the 4th of August. Huge part of this story. Why? Because like I said, Venus is helping you to achieve what is the most desired for you. Venus also rules Libra, which is the South Node. South Node has been working on taking you out of your comfort zones in order to achieve your destiny. But Venus is also connected to the ruling planet of your money and your love. Okay. Venus rules both. So when we are in love with our life, when we are in harmony with our own purpose, okay, where we feel the spark of life, where we feel the spark of joy, where we feel satisfied in our life, it is always easier to become financially, more well off and be be more open to love and loving relationships in our life. Okay. So we have this huge love element that is supporting this final healing of our wound. Now, typically somebody would have to wait 50 years for Chiron to orbit and have a return in our life. It returns every 50 years. So usually only once in a lifetime. But you may not be 50. Yeah, chances are most of you are not 50 years old watching this video. Some of you may be right around there, but we're able to really allow this wound to become our greatest medicine, our greatest purpose, because of this retrograde and with Pluto and this final release of it, and not have to wait until that space and time when we are right around 50 years old. So this is miraculous. This is huge. This is a really big deal. So what I want to do is I want to dive into the tarot with each one of you and find out what that overlighting energy looks like for you. So you may or may not be familiar with your natal chart. A lot of people don't have the information of what time they were born. So that makes it difficult to get a full picture of your natal chart. So let's rely on another tool to find out what is going to be activated within you in order to create this different storyline. You literally are able to rewrite the story of your life and make a huge quantum leap and shift upwards towards the things that you have desired for yourself. Okay. So let's find out which, with each sign, I would like for you to, if you're interested, look at, oh, I'm so sorry. See, again, glad I didn't do this 12 times. With Venus being in Leo, the sun, right? Okay, Leo is the Leo sign is the sun. We're looking at father figure and your external, external material world. You and the external, I'm saying that right? You and your external world. Okay, so now you could be looking at, so what we have the opportunity here for, again, is now not only healing a wound that had been created within our mother relationship, we also have the ability to heal a wound within our father relationship, because father figure, and you and your external world. Okay. So whatever that looks like for you, we all have these feminine and masculine energies within us. Every one of us does. Every one of us has some sort of a relationship, whether they were involved in our life or not, with father, mother figures, either how you have been that for other people, how other people have been that for you. And now it is time for us to be able to do that for ourselves. Again, we are rising to be independent, okay, but have interdependent relationships, because again, Pluto and Aquarius setting the tone for this generation is all about each one of us being able to self-resource, for us to be able to soothe ourselves and give ourselves what we need in order to be strong, the strength within the collective. Okay. We're not leaning on external information. We're not leaning on other people to give us our answers, to give us our validation. We are able to now self-resource what we need by healing these wounds once and for all, and being able to show up in a very authentic way, strong, and be able to have harmonious relationships with those who we are working with, those who we are engaging with in our own personal life. Okay. So again, this is a very significant next 6 months, and it is going to be much easier for you to be able to release than you probably suspected. So along with looking at the overlighting energies for each one of you in your sign, I will also pull cards, a card or cards, and usually ends up being cards, right? cards for the final outcome. What will the final outcome at the end of this 6 months, or as this energy purges from your field, what will that look like for you? What is that final outcome? And I'm sure it's going to be significant for each one of us. So I hope that was helpful and not confusing, to be able to draw those parallels from the mythology, which really explains, personifies explaining, energies. That's what the mythology does, is it gives us some insight to, the energies through personifying, or having people or gods. They're not really, I guess a person, right? A person being able to hold the energies. So again, let's not continue going on here. Again, I hope that was very helpful. Let's go ahead and dive into the cards for each one of you. One more thing. Okay, one more thing. So I have started to say I wanted you guys to watch for your sun, because that is going to be your like I said, father figure, father in masculine energy in you and your external world, and your purpose. Okay, this is very connected to what propels you forward, what keeps you moving in this life. Okay, watch for your rising if you have that information, and that is going to be your whole self. Okay, and watch for your moon, because that again, this is your mother figure, but also the inner workings of you, how your mind works, how you think about things, the things that you eat, and taking in your home. So think inward for your moon. Okay, that's what that is. It's what's going on that everybody isn't necessarily seeing. What's going on inside of you, how you process things, is going to be your moon. It's also a really great idea for you to watch for your Venus as well, because Venus is an active part of this, right? And Venus is your loves, like love and money. And she, but a lot of times people will watch their Venus for not only money, but for how people attract to them, what type of people they attract, that kind of thing. So you can, take the information and apply it to which one of these areas of your life or your chart, if you do have that information. Also, if you are interested in not having to wait for the content to be released throughout the week, to be able to get all of these, please join my Patreon community, and you will have access to all of the videos on Mondays. And you won't have to wait to watch for each one of those placements in your life. Or if you're wanting to cross watch for somebody who is significant for you, that's always very helpful for navigating your life as well. So, okay, now let's begin. Okay, Aries. So it does look like we are going to go deep right away with the Tarot of the Sacred Kingdoms. Every one of my decks is listed in the description box if you're interested in having your own. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these 3 times, and then we'll start. I still see a couple cards upside down, but that's all right. That's okay. Shuffling these 3 times, and then we'll let the cards start popping out. So asking for the next 6 months for Aries, pertaining to their personal story, pertaining to their Chiron wound. Queen of Pentacles. Love this. The Sun. Already straight away, we have feminine energy and masculine energy right here on the table. And third, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so as you know, Pentacles has everything to do with, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Celestial Weaver. Go ahead and place her right there. So this is cosmic forces, cosmic energies working with you and on your behalf. Essentially, this is where you wield power of the universe through your heart. Love it. Okay, so we have the Queen of Pentacles here, feminine energy. Okay, and like I was saying, is that the Pentacles represents your physical material life. It also represents your finances. Okay, so Queen of Finances. Queens are understanding. They get in there, they find out, they explore through knowledge. Okay, so or gain knowledge through exploration, not so much as the Knight does. The Knight comes right before the King, or the Knight comes just before the Queen. So he's done a lot of exploring. Now he takes that information, hands it over to the queen, and she understands. Okay. She understands what was cultivated through that exploration. Okay. So she's not as active, but she's diving in and wanting information. Okay. Um, so then once she understands, she hands that over to the king and it becomes fixed energy. Okay. So this is cardinal energy. Um, and knights are going to be mutable energy, very versatile. Queens are initiatory, and with that cardinal energy, and then kings are fixed energy. Like this is the way things are now. Okay. So in Pentacles, what we're doing is we're understanding your material world. You're understanding your financial world. You're understanding even more so where you place your energy in a soft, beautiful, harmonious way, very caring, like a mother would, very caring way with your energy, where it goes, it enhances. Okay. It now manifests. This is the sun. We're talking about manifested energy. Okay. It manifests in your life. And now we have the Page of Pentacles, which gives you a sense of curiosity around this subject. Okay. Particularly, it appears to be your finances, but even more so your material world, but most likely your finances. Okay. So let's what I'm going to do is I am pulling from the gold foil deck now, and I am looking for clarification for each one of these three cards. Okay. So we want 2 clarifiers at the minimum for each one of these 3. Give us a little bit deeper look. Oh, that's very much glary, isn't it? Let's see if we can. I don't want her to be gone, but let's do this. See if we can get that glare off of those. I apologize for that. Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, the 5 of Cups, and the 6 of Wands. Okay. Keep going here. I'm going to go where I have a little more space on the table. Neptune, Pisces. Okay, with the Hanged Man. That is breaking a pattern, you guys. Breaking subconscious patterns. Another Neptune, Pisces card. Whoa. Okay. All right. So, and the 6 of Cups. All right. So, what is the storyline telling us? What is this saying? So, we have the Ace of Pentacles. This is a new financial avenue, something that not experienced before. And we have the 5 of Cups, where you're either disappointed at something you had to release and let go of, or looking backwards at the past and not accepting that there is a bright new future available for you, something even more fulfilling. So if we're looking at this is a new life, and are you saying goodbye to something in your old life, or do you keep looking backwards, right? Are you actually tending to yourself in a nurturing way and your life in a nurturing way so that you can enhance your life? Okay, this is the big question here. We'll keep going deeper. All right. We have the sun, where this is another Leo card. This is very triumphant. Okay, your fellow fire sign represented there and here. This is a triumph. Okay, this is success. This is success in your exterior world with your creative ventures. You have been able to achieve external success. And now we're looking at it from a different perspective. Absolutely a different perspective. What is this new perspective showing us? There's curiosity around that. That's good. It looks like you've got a very big open heart, open mind to what else is possible for you. And you're beginning to use your imagination to be able to determine where you'd like to go next, it looks like. And now we have here where you're not going to, I love this 4 of Cups because, even he's got his heart crossed off, but he's like, I'm not going to accept anything just because it comes to me, just because it's presented to me. So now this can mean that you're being very stubborn, right? But it can also mean that that's a good thing in order to not settle. Okay. So, but are you being stubborn in a way because you are still kind of looking at your past here? So what I'll do at this point is go ahead and let's go deeper. What is the story that our lovely Aries needs to be aware of? Breaking this storyline. Okay, there's your card. All right. The Emperor. That's you and all of your magnificence and all of your authority and all of your power. This is you being the strong you that you naturally are. So this deck is just an original right. Okay. Tell us more about this Emperor energy. Tell us more. Okay. So we have Virgo energy here, which is where what you have been focused on. So this was coming in real strong here. What you have been focusing on within your material world and what you have been putting together, where your focus has been, is adding up for you. Okay. It's all adding up. But we have here now where there's this endless torment, this mental torture. And I'll tell you what it feels like to me right now. Tells me what's going on is you're in your head here, right? With this Pisces energy, this is subconscious. Okay, we're literally looking at the subconscious. So it's definitely time for healing a subconscious or a behind the scenes wound. Of course, we know that this is what the Chiron energy is telling all of us. Um, but I bet that it's really, really strong with you being an Aries, especially if you are an Aries rising. Um, it's got to be really like at the forefront for you. I'm just going to pull some more cards here. Keep going with this. This is the Fool. Okay, brand new journey. So it's got you kind of tormented about what the future looks like. Is that what it is? You've got to start something new and take this leap of faith. So are you having to leave the way that you have been and make changes in the way that you have been making your money? That's so what it's starting to look like to me is that you've been very independent. So a clarifier for this is the same card. Tell me more about that Four of Cups. Tell me more about that Four of Cups. Okay. Okay, Five of Swords. Five of Swords is where you literally have to walk away from a certain pattern of the way that you have been influenced before, maybe people that you have been surrounded by. These oftentimes, this card reminds me of those who you would have confided in and leaned on for support in making a decision. And now you have to do this completely independently. Now, you guys are Aries, so you are the sign of independence, right? But you're having to walk away from something and it is not easy for you. You're having to walk away from what particularly? What are you walking away from? So this is where you have to make that. Okay, Scorpio, fixed emotion sign. So something that you were emotionally connected to, you're having to walk away from. And um, this is also about creativity as well. Where are you? So, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. So, where you had found stability and nurturing in your physical life, you're having to find that in a different place. You're walking away, and where are you going with a partnership? Okay. All right, this really, and what do we have at the bottom of the deck? Another Neptune card, Page of Cups, which is good information, right? It's new information, but we have to be very cautious of this card to make sure that we're not fooling ourselves, okay? We want to be the fool in a way that we're excited about life and we're taking a leap forward, but we want to make sure that we're doing it from a centered place and not something that is just, you know, fantasized or made up by us that has no actual footing in the real world, okay? Um, okay. This is what this is what I'm really feeling for you guys through this storyline, okay? I'm really feeling that it's time, definitely time for you guys to make a change in the way that you earn your or income, potentially even in the way that where you live, because you have been the authority. You have been the authority in your life. You have been strong. You have been independent. You have been able to be the one that you have always counted on you. You've always counted on you. And this is what you're having to do is not, you're going to have to really tune in and think about where you're going, okay? Where you're headed. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, you guys. This is an Aquarius card, okay? And we talked about Aquarius being able to be the strongest version of ourselves for the collective. And what this spread is telling me is that the strongest version of yourself is this beautiful way that you have been able to tend to your world now is expanding to connect with another person. So that means that this is where the lovers, this may or may not be a love relationship, but has a strong potential to be. This is where the lovers meet and are and in a successful way. Okay. They have come together. They have built a life together. They've been very industrious. They have used the power of Jupiter, wisdom and good fortune, good luck to be able to align themselves. Every one of these pentacles is about being aligned, your energy being aligned with one another and with life force energy. That you see the animals and you see the plants here. This is alignment and within life force energy. Okay. Um, your your energy centers or your chakras aligned, and both of you and your partner are. So what this tells me here is that you are going to be partnering with someone to expand your life. This reminds me of a book that I read recently, um, having to do with the year of the dragon. Um, and what this individual said was that in order for Aries to fulfill their life purpose, they must teach others how to be as independent as they have been. Okay, as confident as they have been. But I think here even taking it a step further is important in saying that it's not, you don't have to do this 100% on your own anymore. You don't have to be um as independent as you have been. It's okay to open up and share your life with somebody else. And it seems to me that you're resisting that quite a bit here, the stubborn. Now, this could be, like I said, it could be like, I'm not accepting anything except the best for myself. And so you may be missing out on what is actually available and how much this can be very satisfying and very helpful for you in your life. It's exactly what you need is this connection with this other person to expand your physical world and your financial well-being. Okay. So it's time to allow yourself to open up to a new relationship, but it is an equal give and take within this relationship. It is not you doing it by yourself anymore. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull from this deck. I want to just leave her right there. So and I'll just go over the top. Sorry, it gets messy, guys, but I want to start diving into what that final outcome looks like for you. Okay. What is the final outcome as Aries heals this wound of the burdens of life being completely on your own shoulders? What does that look like as you connect with another to amass your fortune and expand your life? Six of Swords. So the emotions are going to calm down quite a bit. This is going to be helping you in your emotional life. Okay. You're going from heavy emotional energy to much calmer shores. Okay, much calmer. Um, So, and this is swords card, okay, but we have water, so we're looking at emotions, but where you had been mentally disrupted and where your thoughts had been emotionally disrupted for you, let's put it that way. Now you have gone deep under. This is where this Pluto is strong in this card here, where you're going deep down into your own personal underworld in order to retrieve those skills, those talents, the riches within you to bring you to a calmer shore, okay? Calmer waters, calmer emotional state. And we had seen here how disruptive you had been, right? In your physical world, in your achievements. There was some sort of thoughts that were torturing you that were very much coming up from the depths, right? That was coming up from the subconscious. So we have the Knight of Wands here. I love this for you because, again, this is a fellow fire sign, and this is where you're going to begin learning through action of creating this life together. So you'll be learning about this on the go, and it will completely transfer you. Again, another Pluto energy. So Pluto is very supportive of you right now and your confidence in this new life right here. Okay, so you're going to be able to, and I know that you guys are very confident people, but it's going to help you affirm your foundation. Okay. You're going to be able to firm your foundation and be able to take, like this, I said, that leap forward in a very confident way. And it's not going to take away from you. I think that this death card is telling you um, it's okay for you to open up to new, new ways of living. It's okay for you to open up to a new standard of living. And I want to get some more. Let's get some more information on that death card. Okay. 8 of Cups. This is where you're, it's that eclipse energy, right? Where you're headed out to find out what's important to you, what's satisfying, what sparks you. Um, 5 of Cups. Oh, you're looking back again, looking back. Okay. So what's the death card? It's being able to heal where you have felt like you have been disappointed in your life, where you have regret in your life, because this is what you're contending with this transformation. All right. You're contending to what lights your fire, where you want to go, what satisfies you versus the regret of leaving something behind, disappointed in something not turning out, disappointed in self, disappointed in a situation, disappointment. So expect yourself to do this whole transformation in order to let this into your life. And now we're repeating with the 8 of Pentacles. So this is now repeat again. So rinse and repeat. I think that why is nearly every card repeating itself as we go through this transformation here? With the 8 of Pentacles, responsibility, letting go of your own sense of responsibility, making a decision here, Libra, South Node, partnerships and relationships. So you're going from the I am to balancing out with the we are, which is what Libra stands for. So what do you not see? This 2 of Swords is telling us there's something that you don't see. There's a new way of going about it. With the 7 of Swords here, you're a lot in your head. These swords, you're having to really think about things. Page of Cups, that's Page of Pentacles. About curious about what you can create for yourself, what that could look like. 10 of Swords, end of that torment. Finally, we're at the end of the torment. Okay. As you allow yourself to open up to curiosity, it seems to me that the curiosity about what's possible for you is really going to help you to be able to move to those calmer waters, to be able to make a decision that is based on a new way of being. So this 7 of Swords talks about a new strategy, strategizing another way of going about your life. But if you notice here, this man is in front of the crowd. Okay. So where he had been like the ruler of this, maybe he's listening to these people, what these people really have to say. And what that does by opening yourself up to new ideas and fresh perspectives from others, maybe this lover that you have in your life, this partner, is what ends that torment inside of you, that 10 of swords. Because what we had seen with the here with the constant replaying of a nightmare is the 9 of swords. The 10 of swords is when that's over, that's done. Now you see the light. Now you see that you have this like, oh, like, okay, the clouds, the confusion is all parting. Finally, I'm able to see. What do you see from the 10 of swords? This bright new dawn. What is the dawning of this new age for you? What is the dawning of this new age for you? Aries, the emperor, the emperor. But I get a very different feeling from this emperor, a very different feeling than I had gotten from this emperor. Okay. So this emperor was like, he took his responsibilities very seriously and he felt weighed down. Okay. But this emperor feels free. This emperor feels like he's able to, like I said, listen to the people, what the people's needs are, what others are saying. Am I correct in this thinking? Let's go ahead and just get some more clarifiers for that emperor here. 4 of Wands. Yes, this is the uniting with someone else to create a warm, stable, harmonious environment. Okay. And then the Phoenix. Okay. So it is. There's we go. There we go. Now I can feel it. Now I can feel the shift has taken place inside of you, where you have literally been able to stabilize yourself in a connection with another with for your for a very um warm home life. This very much says to me this is where you guys have come together and you've created something incredible, something that you want to come home to, something that you want to celebrate life together with. And now we have the Phoenix where you literally rise up as the most expanded version of yourself. So if you are potentially merging with another person, either in a business venture or in a love connection, this is a big giant yes. It is going to really transform you into not having to have all of the answers and take on all of the responsibility yourself. It is actually going to expand you in a way that you're able to um, co-create with another person. You can hear them, they can hear you, and you guys build something together. So, and that is going to be your greatest expansion as you open yourself up to not only be the I am that you are, but you incorporate the we are with your I am. Okay. You're not, nobody's saying, this again, I talked in the beginning about this being an self-resourcing period of time where we have an interdependent relationships, not codependent relationships. And this is what you're able to do. You're not one that's going to be codependent on somebody else, right? But it is important for you to allow yourself to co-create with another. Okay, Aries. So give yourself a big fresh breath of life. Open yourself up to this connection and watch yourself expand in the most glorious, beautiful way possible. And the universe is on your side. It's bringing to you exactly what it is that you need to become the next greatest version of yourself. Okay, Aries, thank you again for joining me today. I love you and Source adores you.